Welcome to Sam Roberts Now. How are we? I am so happy to be back here with all of you. It feels like it's been forever, you know. We started late tonight if you're watching live because of some power issues in the Notsam studio. Last week we were out of town, but there's only one way to be as lonely as we all need to be, and that's through Sam Roberts Now. And you know it's not a lonely, well, fiesta party without the one and only Hot Dog. There he is, looking great.
Hello.
Looking
I look great, but technical issues, Sammy. I can't see you for whatever reason on the Zoom. I can't tell if you look great or not.
Oh, I do. I wonder why you can't see me on the Zoom. I had to restart the old switcher. Oh, yeah, now you're up in the wrong corner. I had to restart the old switcher right before we started. I'm going to get you looking good real quick, and then I'm going to get me looking good because for you, Hot Dog.
Thank you.
Because we have quite a bit to do tonight. Quite a bit to do, and a lot of important topics to tackle. And I think it's important that, you know, you see me for it, right?
I need to see that mug.
That's what I figured. Look, I'm adjusting where you are, and you're going to look great. This is a little behind the scenes for everybody. See, right as we started, I had to real quick. Boom.
There we go.
You see how fast I fixed it? I mean, this is amazing. I'm a one-man crew, and the person who's supposed to be my crew is actually right in front of your faces. I'm saying, Sam, why don't you fix it yourself? So you all got to witness the magic that is Sam Roberts Now. That's why this is the loneliest night of the week. Because even with...
a little behind the scenes.
Right. Even with my right-hand man, and even live in front of everybody, it's still, well, it's still all up to me, but I wouldn't have it any other way, quite frankly. You know, Hot Dog, this week, I became very, very interested in an internet personality that I had never heard of, and all of a sudden kept popping up everywhere. And so it was one of those things where I started scrolling through and searching through social media accounts, and I saw one, and I was thrilled that it was liked by Shay Marte.
Okay.
This Bobbi Althoff is everywhere, out of nowhere. So, like, Drake comes out with this video promoting the album, and it's just like a 1-minute clip, and it's this, like, weird, dry humor podcast where he's talking to this 25-year-old girl who's in his bed with him, and they've got mics set up, and they're doing this, what almost felt like a parody of a podcast. It was like a low-energy, dumb podcast that she was
awkward.
Right, awkward, asking kind of insulting questions. I like when Drake played Rack Rack City Bitch for her, you know, all kinds. And I'm going like, oh, I guess I thought it was like one of those like fake, like, you know how on Instagram now, any product that wants to advertise will do like the fake podcast, but it's actually just a commercial. Like, this podcast doesn't exist. They're like, bro, you know about mouth tape? And like, one is the bro, and he's like, bro, I used to have so much trouble sleeping, but I will tell you, I've been sleeping like a baby for 30 days. And then the other guy is like the smart guy. Well, you know, doctors have said that a lot of breathing needs to occur through the nose. And you're like, this is straight out of Central Casting. This is not a real, dude, I've been sleeping better since I got this pillow. I didn't know we were going to be doing pillow talk today, dude. But while we're talking about it, and people are watching going like, I don't know, man. I saw this podcast, because so much of our media consumption is just done in clips. At their best, clips are there to promote something. I mean, let's be honest. For the most part, you watch the clip, you take from the clip what you will, and you'll just keep scrolling. So I'm sure the same way that, like, 10 years ago, say, maybe less than that, 8 years ago, people started saying, I read this article, but really they just read a tweet about the article. Now people go, oh, I watched this podcast. And it's like, no, you saw a reel or a TikTok. You didn't watch an hour of a podcast. You watched 30 seconds of this, like, boom, 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 boom. So I see this, and I'm like, I'm assuming that this is like a fake podcast. especially since the name of it was the Really Good Podcast. And I go, but like, why? But it was kind of funny. And so I was like, where'd she come from? And then I realized this is a real, it's kind of suspicious, right? There are a lot of conspiracy theories out about her because
I was looking into it too.
Yeah, it's investment. Yeah. You started cyber sleuthing, right?
I did. She really did come out of nowhere.
Totally out of nowhere. And like, this is episode 4 of her podcast. And
yeah.
And like, it's a full show and it has like 3 million views. It's millions of views. But it's one thing, like if you're on Vanderpump Rules or something like that, and you launch a podcast, and within 3 episodes you have giant celebrities and you're getting millions of views. It's like, well, yeah, but that's Vanderpump traffic. You know what I mean? Like that's coming from someplace else. I'd never seen this person before in my life. And all of a sudden she's sitting there like insulting Lil Yachty and getting 2 million views, and Lil Yachty's like having the time of his life, like he's just talking to a peer. And I'm like, Yachty, like I've known about you for a while. I've seen your sneaker collection. I've been in your closet. Like you've done all kinds of wacky stuff. I know exactly. But who are you talking?
You build up to Drake. Drake is not your 4th podcast yet as an unknown,
and then,
as an unknown.
And it was so like the controversy around this, because like the people who actually interview hip hop artists were like, the fuck is this? Drake's not doing any interviews. He didn't interview anyone from like hip hop media or music media. He just did this Bobbi Althoff thing and like let her put the clips out, and he put the clips out, and that was it as far as interviews go. So
he was reposting and shit.
He posted. I saw it on his account before I saw it anywhere. That's why I thought it was a commercial. I didn't even think it was a real thing. And I go like, okay. And I started to do whatever research I could do, but there's a like strikingly small amount on this person. Like
it's not that much. I looked through.
Right.
I looked through her. I don't think she has a wiki yet.
No, and like the Instagram cuts off like way recently. Like you get done scrolling. You don't get to see like, oh, this is where she was trying but hadn't quite popped off yet. It's like, nope, she just appeared here in this form. The only thing that she was big on TikTok. The only thing I've heard is she was big on TikTok before this. And you're like, I guess, right? She, like whatever. Like, oh shit, 5 million.
She wasn't that big, because even at some point being big on TikTok does translate into
something.
Yeah.
Some kind of visibility.
Before you get to Drake.
Right. Well, that's why people are, and like, I like it. Like, obviously the reason that I'm looking it up and stuff is because I like what she's doing. I think it's funny because there is this genre now, as somebody that's watched the industry, you know, I keep my eyes on the industry. And as somebody that's watched it, there really is this genre, and it's guys and girls, of like low energy, we're not doing anything podcasts. And some of them get like massive, and you're going like, what even is this? Like, who is this appealing to? And they're like, oh, whatever. Yeah, man. This week we're talking to Tony Hawk. So you like skateboard, right? And you're like, why is Tony Hawk wasting his time? Or like, and it's like, it's not, it's guys, it's girls, it's whoever. It's just, and then you look at the views, and there's a ton of views, and you have to imagine people are going, look, I don't know if you'll have a great time, but a lot of people will see it. What do you want to do here? And it's like, yeah, of course you do the podcast that a lot of people are going to see. So I like that. I mean, I think it's a parody of that. Unless it's just that. I don't know. I take it as a parody, but maybe I'm giving her too much credit. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I just typed in who is, and the first thing Google showed is Bobbi Althoff. Although I may have already Googled that too. But
I think everybody's asking.
She did post, because I did start following her on Instagram, and then
I did too.
Yeah, so she did make a post commenting on the fact that people think that she's an industry plant.
Well, there's two theories that people have posted that I'm kind of like, okay, I'm willing to look into this. Number one is industry plant. Whereas
which I love the term. What does that mean, actually?
An industry plant is when somebody gets really successful and you didn't know them before they were successful, and then you go, oh, whatever, the industry did that. And you go, how? And then they go, they're an industry plant. You go, oh, okay. Yeah, I mean,
just choose someone.
Because they said,
you.
Like when Billie Eilish got really big, like when Bad Guy blew up like crazy, and then Billie Eilish was everywhere, people were like, oh, industry plant. Right? Like Old Town Road, when Old Town Road blew up and Lil Nas X was just everywhere all of a sudden, like there was no come up. People accused Lil Nas X of being an industry plant. It's when the industry comes together and decides, we're going to make you famous. Which also, I mean, takes
like The Undertaker.
I'm going to make you famous. But The Undertaker, I mean, I think that was more of like a reference to an obituary. I don't think that's exactly the same. But then there are some that are going a step further that believe that the only thing, because they're trying to be like, well, what's a reasonable explanation for this sudden blast of fame? Because she's got like Cobra Tate levels of just being everywhere. Like, you remember like 2 years ago when it was just like you couldn't go anywhere,
just out of nowhere.
You never heard of this guy.
Andrew Tate was an industry plant too.
And then maybe they realized that they couldn't control him, so they were like, nope, not ours.
Pop me out of the Matrix.
Right. She won't pop out of the Matrix.
Yeah.
The other thing is that there are some that I've read, and you know, when people say I've read this, that means that they probably saw a TikTok, which is how I did my research. That said that their theory is that she is a puppet of the Illuminati, that it was created to control the youth. So, could be, right? Do you know it's not?
Honestly, I don't know that it's not, and we should be asking these kind of questions.
Yeah, I mean, we should be. It's only responsible, right?
It's concerning.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there is another theory, which is because like, I think her first podcast was like because I started going, I go backwards and go like, where did it start, right? And her first podcast is with Rick Glassman. And that's very, Rick Glassman, the comic, he does the Take Off Your Shoes podcast. And like Rick Glassman is not an industry plant because he's like successful now, but you can kind of track it. Like it took him several episodes before he started to really gather an audience, I think.
Right.
He's been around for a while anyway. So
I mean, like the first clip that I saw of her was Funny Marco, which is like
I saw the Funny Marco clip too, and I go, okay, I could see jumping from Rick Glassman to Funny Marco. I go, okay, I could see that. I mean, look, there is a possibility here that Drake is a closet nerd that looks at stuff on the internet all the time and just hit her up to do a podcast, and that made her very famous because he's Drake. I know that's
like he made her, like he made a star. He was like, yeah, I'll do this.
Like, I know that seems like too simple to be true, but sometimes, because like I remember when that when the doc came out about the Trashers, the hockey team, from Connecticut. Remember AJ Galante came by the studio. He said that like when the doc first came out, the Danbury Trashers, when that Netflix doc first came out, he said he just randomly got a DM from Drake. Like the day the doc came out, he watched the doc right away. He found AJ Galante on Twitter, on Instagram. Drake himself DM'd him. He said, I need a jersey. I need to get a jersey. AJ was like, oh, I don't really have any jerseys. Drake was like, what's your number? And AJ was like, I don't know who this actually is. Like, it's probably one of,
yeah,
right? It's
like,
probably,
Drake.
Yeah, it's probably one of Drake's handlers or something. But he goes, whatever. I'll give him my number. He said 5 minutes later, Drake FaceTimed him. Like, dude, I need to get one of these with his Toronto accent and everything. Drake was on the other end of the FaceTime with him. And AJ said that at that point, he said, I got to get this guy a jersey. So AJ went to his home, like his office that he works out of. And the only jersey that existed at that point, because the Danbury Trashers were nothing, was his own personal jersey that he had framed. So he took the frame off the wall, smashed the glass, took it out, and Drake sent a driver from Buffalo to Danbury, Connecticut to just pick up the jersey from AJ Galante AJ gave him the jersey fresh out of the frame with scraps of glass still in it. They drove the jersey back to Drake, and within 24 hours of the conversation, Drake had a picture of himself on Instagram wearing a Danbury Trashers jersey. So Drake's a big, weird, like, nerd.
That's amazing.
Right. So there is this possibility that Drake was just watching this video of this girl with Rick Glassman or Funny Marco and goes like, oh my God, like, I don't really need to promote my album like that. Like, I mean, what am I going to go on a press tour? I'm Drake, for God's sake. I'm not going to do that. I just need to put out something.
Right.
What if I just had this girl come to my house and like record a podcast with me? She's funny.
In bed.
Yeah, and then she could get in my bed with me. Does that seem like far-fetched? Like, I feel like I've cracked the code on this one.
It's a possibility. And I kind of like the idea that is something that Drake would do, because it gives me hope that maybe one of these days we can get Drake's attention.
That's another thing. I'm like, to any like big celebrities out there, like, oh, how random would it be to do Sam Roberts' show? Like, oh my God, that'd be so silly. You should come over and do it. Like, if Lil Yachty, it doesn't have to be Drake. I would happily talk to Lil Yachty. Lil Uzi Vert, he loves Shinsuke Nakamura. I love Shinsuke Nakamura. If Lil Uzi Vert wanted to come over and like, oh, this is so like weird. I mean, like, I'm like a 40-year-old bald man. It's not exactly the same. But
if Bad Bunny only did one interview for a press run and it was talking wrestling on Notsam Wrestling,
I go, look, Bunny, Benito, here's what we'll do. This is going to be so like wacky and random. It'll get so much buzz. You come over my house. You do the interview with me. I'll bring Hot Dog over as the translator. It'd be great. He'll be speaking broken Spanish. Nobody.
It's gonna be a lot of miscommunication.
It'd be a total mess. He'd think I was insulting him. You'd screw the whole thing up. Yeah, I feel like that's the move to any celebrities that want to be the next Drake and get all the people talking. Let's do something crazy. Let's do some viral marketing.
What I think, that's a possibility, and I would love for that to be the possibility. I think maybe maybe not an industry plant but I think maybe her father, or so she's well connected with someone. Maybe she's neighbors with maybe her dad's neighbors with Drake or something like that. And one of them was like, hey, well, my daughter has a podcast, or maybe like like a PR guy, something like that. Just like a random hookup.
You find out her dad was the guy that played the principal on Degrassi, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you'll find out she's like the daughter of the CEO of like fucking Morgan Chase or whatever.
Morgan Chase, yeah. You're obviously a guy who loves banks. Morgan Chase. Is that where you invested?
Yeah. No, yeah. Whatever it is. That's what I think it is.
They say Billie Eilish was propped up by her brother Phineas, who was already like kind of in the industry and producing behind the scenes. I mean, who knows? People also have to explain it, right? You've got to explain it away in some kind of negative, nefarious thing. You can't just be like, somebody got a ton of good luck and it wasn't you. Like that's usually what the explanation is. Somebody had a tremendous amount of good fortune at a very young age and it's not you. Well, no, I can justify that. I mean, they're being propped up. Their dad is this person. The industry thinks that person. What if they just got lucky and it didn't happen to you? Possible.
Entirely possible.
Entirely, yeah. I mean, I'll listen to it. It doesn't sound realistic, but I suppose it's possible.
It's possible, sure.
Bit far-fetched, but yeah. So,
and also Drake's audience is not, I don't think they get the podcast. Like the awkwardness and insulting nature of it. Like the comments that I read are just like, this is the thing that he went on. Like,
you think they don't like her? They don't like her?
Yeah, like she doesn't even know his music.
Because she's saying like, no, I don't know. No, I don't know. It's also like, it's a little like the sort of awkwardness and low energy does have that sort of comes off of ASMR culture, I believe, as well.
It is soothing listening to her talk.
See,
I was going to say that.
I don't know.
And she's also cute as a button.
I mean, adorable.
Adorbs.
You really think I'm cute? And they have the mics calibrated just right, so they have all that little bass on the end of it. Is that what you're really saying?
Drake with his wine.
I've never heard any of your songs. I don't know. You haven't? You haven't heard my songs? No, I haven't heard any of them. See, we can do it.
It's very calm.
Viral marketing. Hey, speaking of going viral, you know, I feel like I didn't do my due diligence as an internet commenter because I went and saw this movie. I didn't see the Pink movie. I didn't see Barbie.
Wow.
I know. I didn't see Barbie. And it's like, you know, everybody, people who haven't gone to see a movie. Barbie is this like cultural benchmark where people who never go to movies, people who have like everybody, they're like, well, promise you my review on Barbie. And you're going, nobody's ever asked you to review a movie. Nobody was.
And Ben Shapiro.
I mean, to Ben Shapiro's credit, first of all, Ben Shapiro there are layers of trolldom going on, right? Because number one, Ben Shapiro actually does movie reviews all the time.
Right.
Right. So that's one thing that but like, people go like this. They go, can you believe that Ben Shapiro made this review about Barbie talking about how bad it was? What did he expect? He went to the movie and he just hates it and blah, blah. I mean, but like you're also playing your part, right? Ben only made the video because you would click on it and get mad about it. Like Ben Shapiro doesn't care if the Barbie movie he's not invested in it not being a success.
Ben Shapiro cares about the green.
Green, okay. Red party, blue party, green party. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm all about too. Making that money. Oppenheimer was great. And I thought it had, I mean, really important lessons about, you know, to what end? We can end this war, but will we destroy ourselves? And I mean, it was like, it had a lot of depth. Christopher Nolan at his game. I mean, A-game Christopher Nolan. None of this sort of, you know, half-assing Christopher Nolan. This was Christopher Nolan back in the seat going, oh, IMAX cameras don't do black and white. Let's invent one that does because it's necessary. Robert Downey Jr. getting the call and he's like, let me guess, you want me to be kind of quirky and charming? And they go, no, don't be quirky or charming. Act. And Robert Downey Jr. said, I've been waiting all my life for someone to ask me to do that. And he delivered. Robert Downey Jr. finally being an unlikable douche. Just a serious, like, guy in a suit. No eccentricities. A Robert Downey Jr. without eccentricities is, I think, quite an accomplishment for both Mr. Downey and, of course, Christopher Nolan. Cillian Murphy.
He said it's the best movie he's ever been in.
Probably is. A lot of Marvel fans are probably like, no, Iron Man 3. Okay, whatever. Cillian Murphy. I tell you what Cillian Murphy killed is this role, huh? Am I right, guys? Am I right?
I haven't seen it yet.
You watch Barbie?
I'm gonna see Barbie this weekend.
Okay. Yeah. I watched all this Oppenheimer footage, like of actual Robert Oppenheimer before this movie. I was watching documentaries and stuff. And I mean, he nailed it. He got it exactly right. His facial expressions, the way he talked, his mannerisms. It was great. But then I get out of it and everybody's like, oh, what'd you think of Barbie? I'm like, I didn't think. I don't know. I didn't go. I mean, I'm not against it. I'm not again. I'll at some point, I'm sure, see Barbie. There's a lot of other stuff to see, though.
Are you singing about yourself?
Will I see Barbie? I don't have any plans to see Barbie. Would I see Barbie by myself? I mean,
One ticket for Barbie, please.
For what? Barbie. One ticket for Barbie. Price
weird
check.
asking for that.
Price check on a single ticket for Barbie. Stop. Stop.
Your Bret Hart pink on.
Well, yeah. See, that's the thing. I would a week ago. I would have told you, yeah, I'll go see Barbie by myself. You know, 7 days out of the week. I went to see Oppenheimer by myself. It's nothing to me. But I didn't realize that like every single screening of Barbie is an event, and like all the girls show up in all their pink. So I can't do that. I can't be the single guy going to see Barbie in a theater full of women dressed in pink. I can't. I can't do it. But you know,
I'm holding off until I can see Oppenheimer in that as Lincoln Center 70 millimeter IMAX.
Guess what? You know what I saw Oppenheimer in? Standard. I'm not a mark, okay? You're not going to get me. I felt like they were really pushing it. I thought they were trying to get me. They go, you got to see it in IMAX. They need to see every single interview with the cast or with Christopher Nolan or with a movie critic or with anybody said, but if you're going to see it in IMAX, see it in IMAX, see it in IMAX. And I go, look, I understand you want the extra $7. But I was born at night, but not last night. You're pushing too hard. You're not getting the extra $7. Thank you very much. The standard movie screen is very big. I'm sure I'll get every single detail. It'll be just fine. Half the movie's in black and white. I'll be just fine. And you know what? I left a standard screening of Oppenheimer, and no part of me was saying, if only the screen was bigger. The screen was fine.
Well, it's not a trick, Sam.
It's a trick. Yes,
they're not trying to steal $7 out of you.
Of course they are, because they know that Barbie is going to take up all the standard screens. So they go, how are we going to make this money back? How are we going to make it up on the back end? And they go, well, what if we convince all these rubes to go see it in IMAX so they spend $38 a person? Not me. No.
There's one room in one theater for all of New York City that is in 70 millimeter IMAX. How much money could they possibly be making from 3 shows, by the way, because it's a 3-hour movie?
That's just 70 millimeter IMAX. There's other IMAX rooms, and they charge.
No. I'm not talking about that.
You're going 70 millimeter IMAX. What do the tickets run?
I couldn't even get a ticket. It's sold out until August 15th, and they don't have any postings after that. I looked through every single showing, Monday through 2 p.m. whatever, every single day, and it was all sold out.
How much money could they possibly be making? What's the last movie that sold out every theater for a month?
I mean, that was the last movie that was recorded in 70 millimeter IMAX.
Shut up. You think that if they weren't pushing so hard, I know when I'm being sold to, okay? I know when I'm being suggested to, and I know when I'm being sold to. And I don't mind being sold to. I don't mind.
It's objectively way better.
Because the thing is bigger?
Well, it's not that. It's the detail. It's 11. Did you not read? It was like an 11-mile long strip of film.
I read. I read. How do you think James Cameron got away with putting out a movie that was just Pocahontas but with blue people? Nobody said one thing about the plot of Avatar. Nobody said one thing about the script. Nobody said one thing about the story. All they said was, you gotta see this thing in 3D. It's amazing. No.
But how can you hear that someone went through all this effort and all this work and money to record it in a certain format and not be like, wow, let me try to watch this in the best way possible?
I saw it in a theater.
But like half the thing that Nolan is about is like, go watch this the way it's meant to be seen. He's a cinema head.
I watched Batman: The Dark Knight in IMAX. I've also watched it on my phone. It's good either way.
That's insulting.
It's good either way. Either way, that Joker is robbing that bank.
Yeah.
Either way, guess what? Either way, when he takes off the clown mask and it's actually the Joker and you're like, oh my God. Either I watch it on a screen that's the size of 6 houses or I watch it on my Tim Cook phone. Either way.
If Oppenheimer was released at the same time and like MP4 for your phone as it was in IMAX, you would just watch it on your phone?
No, I like the movie theater experience. I like going to the movie theater. I like the immersion of the theater. But when they start going, well, it's like regular immersion, but more immersion. I'm like, okay. Like, you know what?
Does it sound good to you?
If the screening had been like, this is a more convenient screening. Like when I watched John Wick in 4DX, it wasn't because I needed the movie theater to rain on me so I could properly enjoy John Wick. It was because it was 15 minutes before I left my house. And I was like, okay, 4DX. I was in San Diego when I saw Oppenheimer. If it had been like, it's a 20-minute ride to the movie theater, the IMAX screening is in 30 minutes, and there's plenty of seats open, absolutely I'll see it in IMAX. But guess what? Because all the J-Brones were going to IMAX, I had like 3 seats on either side of me, totally open in the standard screening. It was like 12 p.m. on a Friday too, but
I mean, I get you. You don't like to get got, but
yeah,
you're making it sound like it's a scheme.
It's an industry plant.
Okay,
it is a scheme. Of course, it's a scheme, but it's also. I
can't wait
to see it in
2 months.
I know.
To watch it in 2 months. Yeah.
The leaves will be changing when you see this thing. By the time you see this thing, they will have dropped the next atomic bomb, and you won't be able to watch it anyway.
And my eyes were just gonna be like, "Oh, you and try like I'm gonna hit you guys up 3 months time,
bro." Screen's so big. Cool. It'll be already out on home video by the time you see it. I'm like, oh yeah, I was just watching it for the 3rd time in my house. I got a sound bar.
Ooh.
You know? My favorite review that I've seen of Barbie, because like everybody's either got to be like, I loved it. This is the movie I've been waiting for. This is the story I've been waiting for. It's so good. Or they go like this. I don't need agenda being added to my toys, okay? When I grew up, Barbie wanted to cook in the kitchen, and now she needs a job. Blah, 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 blah. One person I talked to went like this. They go, yeah, I saw Barbie. I go, what'd you think? They went like this. That was good. I was like, this is the best. Thank you. That's courage. The courage to go, meh, about Barbie. Nobody's doing it. Everybody's either got to be like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen, or this is a real stinker. This is terrible for the country. Nobody's just going like, that's all right. One person I know said that, and I was like, this is what I was waiting to hear. Honesty from somebody finally. That's all right. Wasn't bad. Ryan Reynolds is funny.
I like a good agenda, though.
You love an agenda.
I love agendas.
Well, as you know, I do too. So, you know, ain't nothing wrong. Look, I love indoctrination and a political cause, okay? There's nothing.
That's my favorite.
Everybody knows this about me. So I'm with you. But I'm just saying, hey, while we're on the topic of going viral and trying to figure out what these trends are, right? I'm like, okay, because I'm racking my brain here, Hot Dog. I am racking my brain. I'm going, well, I don't have Lil Yachty or Drake's phone number. So I can't go the Bobbi Althoff route. And I didn't see Barbie. So I can't make a video about how it's either the savior or the decline of civilization. So what can I do to get some attention? You know, I've been on the quest to get attention for this show, Hot Dog. I figured it out. Going forward, Sam Roberts now is pure NPC. Yes. We are going pure NPC on Sam Roberts now. In the super chats, if you just want to send emojis or food elements or whatever, we'll just react to it like we're AI. And I feel like we'll finally get to the next level. Finally.
Or at least we'll get that money coming in.
We absolutely will. Now, this is, I mean, it's a risk because I feel like the NPC trend is very, very scary to people outside of Generation Y. A lot of people think that this is actually the decline of civilization. Every time somebody sees something they don't quite get, they're like, indoctrination, decline of civilization? And you're like, I think so, yeah.
I jumped around. First, I thought it was the decline of civilization.
Yeah.
And then I thought it was funny.
So you go, first you're like, this is going to kill us all. And then you were like, but it's kind of lit. So,
yeah.
Okay.
It's a roller coaster of emotions for me.
So there are some huge people. NPC it means non-playable character in video games, right?
Yes.
And
it's used as an insult as well in real life.
Right. You're an NPC. It means you're not going to accomplish anything in your life, right?
You don't matter.
Right. There are people who the game is about, and like an NPC would be like in Grand Theft Auto, when you bump into somebody and they have 2 lines that they say, and you hear the same 2 lines every time you bump into them because they were never meant to add anything. They're set decoration.
Brace yourself, boo.
That's right. That's an NPC. An NPC is just here to populate the planet, while those of us main characters get in where we fit in. You know what I'm saying? So people have decided, well, okay, I'm going to own the NPC. And they're like, they go on TikTok Live is where this took off. TikTok Live. And
I didn't even know it was a thing.
That's right. And they go on for hours. And a lot of these live, like on YouTube, we have super chats. If you want to contribute to the show. I just saw when a super chat came in. I will acknowledge every super chat. So if you think that I'm not talking about a certain topic, super chat it in here on YouTube. It's very funny. We have super chats. My M22. I don't even care. We have super chats on Facebook. What do they have? Bits or something? I know that Twitch has stuff and TikTok has stuff. They have coins, whatever. They all have their own currencies where you can send them stuff, which I don't understand. The one thing I like about YouTube is you just send dollars, right? You just send like money. But on all these other things, you have to buy currency and then send it to them. It's like itchy and scratchy bucks. So here, people go onto TikTok Live. This is Pinky Doll Reel. I don't know if you guys know her, Pinky Doll Reel. And they just turn it on and they wait for stars to come in, I guess. See, stars or coins or whatever. And they basically act like they're robots or like they're AI, like that they have automated functions that whenever you send a certain emoji, they react to it in that way. And they stay on TikTok for hours, just allowing people to send, well, I'll give you a taste of it. Is it coming through? No, it's the onboard mic, I think.
Operator error.
Wow, I think it was operator error on that one.
Gang, gang. Gang, gang.
And it should be mentioned, too, that, I mean, in hip-hop, making silly noises has been a trend for years. So it's not like the idea that you would just make silly noises. Like, you know, Cardi B running around going, oh, grrr, and it's just like a thing, you know, like, what was it, the Yin Yang Twins? You know, like they would just make silly noises, and it would be like, oh, that's really cool that they just make silly noises. So the idea that you would take the music out and just stick to the silly noise and make a career out of it, I don't think is as far-fetched as people realize. I think it's actually evolution.
Ice cream so good. Balloon. Oh,
she's good at it, too.
I've been trying to do the pop noise a week after I saw that. I can't.
I'm pretty good at what. That's good, right? I think so.
Yeah, not anywhere near close to her, though.
She's really
Thank
good.
you, user. What is the noise again? Quack, 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 quack.
Quack, 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 quack. Good? Or
No, does think you're gonna have to put some work into this.
I haven't practiced enough. Pinky Doll Reel really is real.
Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Ice cream so good. Balloon.
I always come on the show to try to explain things, you know? I'm still not 100% on
This one is a tough one to explain. And you know what? I think I'm bouncing back to the fall of civilization.
Really? As you watch it more. Well, okay, this one's
So good. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. Gang, gang. That was good. Eliminate. Grab, grab, grab. That was good. Coconut. A cake.
That was good. Coconut. That was good. Coconut.
Yeah, I'm going back to the other side again.
I mean, you know, there are some people that on their streams, they turn sound effects on, right? So anytime somebody like donates or subscribes or sends a thing or whatever, a notification comes up, a notification comes up, a notification comes up. This is just the next step. I mean, I get it, right? Like this is, I mean,
This
is an hour and 15 minutes, this video right here that I have up. And it's not like I'll go to a random spot, just like, this is like David Blaine magic. I just clicked a random spot, right?
Let's see what she says.
Grind. Hee-haw, yes. The guy feel like a cowgirl. Let me write it. Oh, thank you, baby. This is so cute. Fire. Oh, thank you, baby. This is so cute. Hee-haw, yes. The guy feel like a cowgirl.
Okay.
Let me write it.
I'm gonna
Are you
fast
sure she's
forward.
not a robot?
Grind.
I'm gonna fast forward 20 minutes, okay? 20 minutes later.
Okay.
Go
20
crazy. Go
20 minutes later.
Gang. Meow.
Ice cream, so good.
Yes. Balloon. Yes.
Yes.
Gang. Yes. Hee-haw, yes. The guy feel like a cowgirl. Let me ready. Gang.
It's tough because okay, so you see the two G's here. That's where when she says gang, and then I guess I don't know what that calendar means.
Lights, wow, now I can see myself better. Beautiful. Gang.
I don't know. I mean,
You don't see how people think this is the fall of civilization. I mean, can you imagine? Maybe if you make it more personal, if you imagine one of your kids, 10 years old, 15 years old, watching this and donating money.
I would just tell them.
If this,
Here's the thing. I would tell them to stop. Like people are like, I caught my kid. He was watching it for 6 hours and he spent $100 on it. I was like, how'd your kid get $100? And what was he doing for 6 hours without you watching him? No, when I see my kids watching dumb stuff on YouTube, I turn it off.
yeah, I mean, it's not that this is damaging to them in the sense of like they're watching something that they shouldn't watch. This is innocent. Yeah.
Yes.
She's an adult
It's just-
person.
It's just so brain dead.
I mean, it's
It
totally
almost-
brain mush. But you almost
Yeah.
like I'm sitting there watching like, how long is she gonna go on for? You almost
credit to her.
you almost watch like it's a challenge. Like, there's no way she's gonna just be a robot for an hour plus. Like you're playing a game of outlasting. I think I can outlast how long she can do. And it's just like, you just keep sending shit, trying to get her to crack. She never cracks. And all of a sudden you got empty pockets and she's going all the way to the bank. And then people go,
She
man,
cracks.
you got all this money in the bank. How'd you get all this money? And she goes,
Ice cream so good. Hee-haw, yes. The guy feel like a cowgirl. Let me write it. Gang. Nurse, money gun. I got the name. Wow, a lot of gift for you.
how does she keep track of all the things to say? Also,
Now you want to ask her a million questions and figure it out. How do you not break? I've seen her break.
when she gets mad about her OnlyFans getting leaked.
No, on when her kid on these videos. Have you seen those? So like either her son is like off not listening to instructions and then she has to break, or she'll be like, I have to go put my son to bed. Bye now.
It is a little, that's when it gets disheartening when her son like walks by in the background and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, like at the most formative, because the first couple of years people go like, oh, well, when they're babies, you don't have to do anything. Like the most formative years of growing up are like the first 4, say, right? That's where all your shit gets baked into you. So the idea at those very formative years, you're walking by and you're like, well, what did your mom, you're like, I never had to ask for anything because my mom was working hard and always provided. Oh, really? What did your mom do for a living?
Good. That was good. Coconut. Oh, thank you, baby. I love you. Baby, this is the last popcorn. Pinky doll gotta go back to work. Oh,
She's making popcorn in a flat iron? That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
I didn't know you can even do that one at a time.
The little 3-year-old just has it stuck in his head. Ice cream's so good.
Ice cream, so good.
Grr.
I wonder if like she brings her little kid to work or to get ice cream, and he takes a lick. He's like, ice cream, so good, and she's like, we're not at work.
We don't get paid for this.
No. Now, yeah. Pinky Doll Real is the young lady that has really put this genre on the map. Like this is, I believe, at least in my circles, the performer that has taken NPC off TikTok Live and brought it into the mainstream. I mean, and maybe I'm being non-judgmental because, people take wrestling out of context and they go, how could anybody watch this? And I'm like, well, you don't understand. Maybe
You just don't understand the bloodline.
maybe I don't. Yeah, exactly. Like, because you didn't see 3 years ago when Roman Reigns was like, people ask, which one are you? It's so deep. And they were like, oh, yeah, well, you don't understand the real context behind this.
Gang, 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 balloon. Ice cream so good, slay, balloon.
It's an hour and 15 minutes. I'm not just recycling the same 10-second clip. It goes over. But I do wonder because in my research, I found that Pinky Doll Real was not really the person who really created this. From what I've heard, and I don't know this to be a fact, it's just in my research, I read that this was really kind of the person who popularized the NPC trend. This is...
I don't know who that is, but I feel like I've seen her before.
Well, that's Cherry Crush, hot dog.
Ah.
Yeah, in my research, I found that Cherry Crush was really the OG of NPC. See?
Marshmallow. Crunchy corn, yum! Kitty paws.
Yeah. So,
it just feels like one of those things you see in Black Mirror. That's why it makes me feel iffy.
It is iffy or icky?
Both.
Oh,
okay. Iffy.
Yeah, no, it is a little Black Mirror-y, sure. I mean, but like we're past that point, you know? Like
No,
the question,
stop it.
We're not stopping it. Like if there's anything that's obvious, we're not doing that. Like it's not ending. So ice cream.
Why not join it?
I mean, I'd say if you're gonna make some money, right? If you're gonna get some cash, ice cream, good. Gang, 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 gang.
I saw one. There was one NPC that was pretending to be Miles Morales.
That's cool.
Spider-Man Miles Morales. That one was pretty cool.
That's sounds cool.
Yeah. There was one NPC where every time some coins came in, he would go, glizzy. And then he would do the act of fellatio for 2 seconds.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun. Yeah, I mean, look, entertainment's always evolving, and people forget that. And
but evolving or devolving?
Look, I'm not the people who do this, I'm kind of fascinated by people who like watch this and are like, yo, this is my shit. I really like this show. Those are the people that I'm like, are you okay? Like, is everything all right? But it's also, yeah, I mean, what did you think was going to happen? Everybody acted like ASMR becoming a trend was like not weird. Like
that one was fine. That's what my line is.
Bro, what did you think? It doesn't end. You can't go, well, yeah, this is fine as long as it doesn't go to the next step. Of course, it always goes to the next step. What do you think this is going to evolve into?
What is this?
So you're saying this? The mic is clean.
That's not bad.
You're saying that's like, oh yeah, no, that makes sense. I would watch that. But then when I go,
God, amazing. Yes, yes, yes. Gang, 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 balloon.
I think we took a couple 100 extra steps.
it's just
to
people
get from
with weird sensory stuff that are just like, like they have the little sensory buttons that they want pressed.
Look, I'm not mad at these people. I'm just more upset that this is where we're headed. As you said, I'm mad at the people who probably spend an hour or two and send a couple $100 their way.
I mean, it helps that they're good-looking women that do it. I think that's a big part of it.
Pinky Doll is what?
Huh?
Pinky Doll is what?
Pinky Doll Real.
Pinky Doll Real is what? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that helps. Like, I think if I was sitting there pretending to lick ice cream cones, people would be like, the fuck are you doing? What's wrong with you?
You would have to do it in public. You would have to do it. Like, I bet you like a good NPC one that can catch up is someone doing something in public as an actual NPC around people.
Like how so?
Like you could take your ice cream so good and just say something stupid. You as Sam would be in maybe Times Square or something where actual people could look and you could see their interactions and be like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Ice
And
cream,
then
so good.
I feel like people would get off watching you do that because they get off in watching people have no shame. Like they are paying for the lack of shame.
Okay, but see, then that goes into like a trend that was popular on Twitch like years ago, the IRL streaming. I feel like that fits in more. You know, IRL streaming got real popular a while back, and it was legit just people ruining their lives for the enjoyment of others. Like it would be like, I'm gonna go out in public with my camera on and stuff, stream live with a speaker on, and speak to text in the chat. And so like people will go out in public, and then the people watching would just type the worst, most offensive, inappropriate stuff just to watch the people around the streamer react. And like they'd want to beat them up, they'd throw them out, like, and it was like, but you just watch. It's like people that were getting swatted on purpose, like just people.
I don't think I've ever
do it. Pandemic was a weird time. I started doing deep dives and like video essays. I got big on video essays to go back on like trends that I wasn't aware of. IRL streaming was a wild ass time on the internet. But it's exactly what you're talking about. It's like but that's what I mean about understanding what you're doing and where it's going. I think as a generality, people don't do that. They're just like, well, this is good right now, and I'm going to stop thinking about it and just do that. And you're like, clearly this leads to here. Maybe not, and they just do it anyway, right? Like a lot of IRL streaming, it started with, well, people just like it because I have no shame, and I make a few bucks, and I'll get popular. Not realizing that, dude, the only way to keep this going is to up the ante until you completely ruin your life. And then people will just forget about you anyway. I don't think so. Anyway, let's start doing this. Right. I don't think so. Of course that's where it happens. Well, let's, platform ASMR. Well, okay, I don't mind it. But then you can't get mad at NPC.
Right. I mean, it's all like kink shame.
Don't kink shame. That's what Army Hammer says. Stop kink shaming. Trying to eat some people, that's all.
Let him be, I guess. I don't know. It just scares me because I feel like yeah.
Ice cream so good, yes. Oh, thank you, baby, this is so cute. Oh, thank you, baby, this is so cute. Gang, gang.
It's great. It's good content.
All right, it's gonna be in my dreams again tonight.
It's awesome. It's all content is good. That's the thing. As long as it's content, it's good.
Yeah,
I think so. I think so. I wanted to touch on something real quick because like this is why you need to pay attention to the show. Did we all catch up this week with the Carlee Russell saga? Carlee Russell, 25-year-old young woman. She has a bad day at work, I guess. Driving home, it's like 8:30, 9:30 at night, something like that. She calls the police. She goes, there's a toddler walking down the side of the freeway. This is wild.
There's a toddler on my freeway.
It's right. And she goes, I'm going to go get that toddler. And they're like, okay, will you hang out with the toddler? We'll send a car right to you. She goes, absolutely. She leaves the car, door open, the whole deal. And there's a street cam of her that they showed, and she does. She's on the side of the road. She leaves the car. She walks off into a, dark area because it's a nighttime. Cops show up. She gone. She's not there, and there's no sign of any toddler. Her neighborhood reacts. The police force react. Her loved ones, her parents, her boyfriend, everybody's talking about it. We got to find her. $63,000 is raised to Crime Stoppers. 2 days.
Man.
And then 48 hours later, on foot, she knocks on her parents' door. She's home. She goes, she was kidnapped. Oh, my God. I'm so glad she escaped her abductor. They go, what happened to the kid, the toddler, on the side of the freeway? She goes, huh? They go, the toddler. She goes, oh, yeah, I don't know. And
it was like McConnell when they asked.
Yeah, they go, what happened to the toddler? And she goes, well, the toddler. Go. Do you want to, Carlee? You want to go? Huh? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, her story started to fall apart like almost immediately. People figured it out. Her boyfriend started deleting tweets. Her poor parents, the whole community, they started to realize that Crime Stoppers is not giving that money back, right? This is not a GoFundMe. And
she didn't even get to the part of being racist and saying a
Nope.
Puerto Rican kidnapped her or
Didn't
something.
get a chance to. Did not get a chance to because people figured it out so quickly. She was indeed. She made a statement through her attorney, found out there was no child on the freeway. There was no abductor. She wasn't kidnapped. People still, as of this time, have no idea where she went, how she got to where she was going. Nobody knows. Her attorney released a statement that says she's working on her issues, so don't worry about it. They go, what are the issues? Well, she's working on them. Don't worry about it. So we don't know what the issues are. We know that she's working on them. We know that the story that she said wasn't true. And we know that the $63,000 that was raised for Crime Stoppers is not going to be refunded. That has been made official. Hot Dog, do you know when they really realized, oh, I don't think this story is true?
I'm guessing as soon as she got back in. But before that?
There was evidence, Hot Dog. What was the piece of evidence when they got the Gilgo killer? Not the pizza, because bet your bottom dollar, wherever she was, though, the last 2 days that she was missing, she was eating pizza. I guarantee she was eating pizza. People are like, aren't you that missing? Oh, no, you're just somebody eating pizza very casually.
Face was covered with a slice.
That's it. It was the Google results. The Google,
oh,
of
right.
course.
Yes.
Of course. It was the Google results. It is always the Google results. It always will be the Google results. People love Googling stuff that directly links them to the crime that they're accused of. And the police go, let's check the Google results. There it is. Do you know what Carlee was Googling, Hot Dog?
How to get away from
She was
society.
She was Googling one-way bus ticket to Nashville. She was Googling maximum age of Amber Alert. She was Googling, do you have to pay for an Amber Alert? And Hot Dog, she Googled the movie Taken.
That's a good one.
I mean,
you gotta do your research before you disappear.
Everyone gets caught by Google. I'm going to tell you something. When scientists lock down DNA and realize that investigations will change forever. OJ was like, thank God I got in before people really realized how conclusive DNA is. Because scientists were like, the DNA completely matches. And the jurors were like, I don't know anything about that. People thought after that, people were like, yeah, it's always, the DNA is going to change everything. Nothing will ever be more concrete than DNA. Not true. Not true at all. Google results. Google results are the answer to every case. And there really is, by the way, nothing more telling about who you are. Because the stuff you post, even if you post something thoughtlessly, a little thought went into it. There was some kind of cognition that this was going to be read by other people. But Google, the shit that you will write in Google, I mean,
that's your truest self right there.
You don't want anybody ever. That's why I don't use Google anymore. You don't want anybody.
Which side are you using?
I use Brave on the iPad. I use DuckDuckGo on the phone. You're not tracking me across devices, okay?
Microsoft isn't tracking you, yeah, I'm sure.
That's why I got Brave.
Okay.
That's why I got Brave and didn't use DuckDuckGo for everything anymore.
Investigators. The FBI is going to be like, well, he was using Brave.
Yeah.
We don't.
Here's the problem.
We can't get him.
The FBI is going to go like this. Well, we don't have anything for the search results, but I mean, his algorithm on YouTube is pretty obvious. Like, that kind of defines everything for us. I mean, dude, It's always the Google results and pizza.
Don't we have enough like true crime documentaries to like actual?
I mean,
to, like,
everybody
educate?
knows.
I mean, look, if I'm gonna Google something at this point, and I know I'm gonna disappear, I would go. Let me go to an internet cafe, and let me not use my credit card to pay for the pavement. If I'm gonna Google something in there, yeah, maybe. And I mean, they would still get you.
I mean,
even then, but
at least log out.
Yeah.
At the very least, log out of your account.
Yeah, this is like 2003 thinking when it's 2023.
Come on, guys. Get with the program.
So what do you need a 2-day break for?
I'd love to know.
Do we still not have that information? Like,
We
what
don't have
was
that
so
information.
bad?
We don't have it. We don't know. She's working on
2
her.
days later, she was like, "Okay, this is fine now."
Because she didn't have anywhere to go. So she probably got so bored. I can't.
Well, she's heading to Nashville, probably for a threesome.
What makes you think it was a threesome?
That's what happens over there.
In Nashville specifically? Is that why you guys were in Nashville? Oh. She must have known someone's stepmom.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, just another case of the Google results. And I guarantee, over the next week, something's going to come out where it's like, yep, and we know where she was while she was missing. How do you know? We found a pizza box.
It was at Kid Rock's Honky Tonk.
Badonkadonk.
Yeah. I mean, look, if I was going to go for a day in Nashville, disappear from and get off the grid, I'd go to Kid Rock's Honky Tonk.
So would I, of course. Yeah, I tell you what I wouldn't do. Order a Bud Light because you get your ass thrown out.
Yeah.
You ain't going to catch me doing that. Hey, we only got one rule on Sam Roberts now. Every super chat gets acknowledged. Every super chat gets acknowledged. If you want me to go NPC style, I'll be happy to. If you want me to, ice cream, good. Whatever you want.
For every heart donation, every emoji donation.
Yes. And of course, if you're going to be in the Detroit area, a week from tomorrow, August 5th, Detroit, Notsam Wrestling, live at the Detroit House of Comedy, August 5th, 5 p.m., a week from tomorrow. Get your tickets at notsamlive.com. I want to see you all out there. It'll be super fun. I was putting together some guests. I got to talk to you about it offline. I'll probably make those announcements next week. It's going to be a good show. All right, let's get into these super chats. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit like. I see the number of people watching. I see the number of likes we got. Let's get those a little more equal.
Come on.
And Rabble Rouser keeps saying that I'm not live. So
yeah, what is going on here? Why
did it? I mean, it says live. There's a thing that says live, and there's a thing that says premiere. It's not. The technology is not hard to figure out.
It's a pre-tape premiere.
Well, why would I pretend? Why would I pretend to be live? To what benefit? Let's go to Six Crow. Who's the EP? Winky Face EP. Appreciate you, Six Crow. Six Crow's our EP because he's the highest super chat contributor. So, I mean,
gets the title.
Technically, yeah, the same way the NPC people just kind of do whatever they do. Like, if he wanted to be like, hey, tonight, let's talk about this, we wouldn't have much of a choice because we got to get that coming in.
Not Sam EP hot dog?
I wouldn't think so, no. No, I wouldn't think so. Monkey U, I'm 100% certain those socks are hot dogs. It's totally something he would have. Only question is how they wound up at your house. Is there extra potting happening off screen beneath the sheets?
It's entirely possible.
That was like when Sockgate happened on Jim and Sam yesterday. There were many funny layers to it.
Wow, that was yesterday already.
It's crazy, right? I mean, it's just the amount of It's been a long one for your boy. It's been a long couple days for your boy. But there are layers to the humor of it. And one of the funny things for me is also there have been multiple people that I'm friends with that others are predicting, no, I think the socks were his. I think he got the socks from him. I think he got the socks from
Yeah, like why am I getting some shade off of this?
I don't know.
Can you take your L in peace without me getting dragged into it?
This should be your moment to shine, to tell you the truth. This should be like, God, finally. Can't tell me nothing.
It's like, it must be Hot Dog. He's a lib cuck.
It's like,
okay, all right.
It doesn't seem fair, does it?
No, it's not.
No, I don't think so either.
Those are awful socks.
Yeah. No. Look, there ain't no getting around that. Okay. But sorry, I'm for the culture. Like, sorry.
Unapologetically.
I've always been
for the culture.
For the culture. Drippy says, hey, Hot Dog, he's probably grilling some dogs in the grill, you know.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, I don't think this is a real account, but it is a super chat. It says official Black Lives Matter. Thank you for purchasing our socks. Thanks to you, we were able to achieve the dream of moving out of the ghetto and buying mansions in white neighborhoods. Okay, I don't think
is that the automatic message you get whenever you.
The socks weren't that expensive, I don't think. I don't think so. It's just I would remember that more. Six Crow says hot dog, and then a heart, and then an eggplant, and then says, what does that sound like? I don't understand why the attacks. It's not fair.
Yeah, what am I getting into this?
Poodlerific says, what does Coop look like? I missed you and Hot Dog. I appreciate that, Poodlerific. I would say Coop looks like, remember that shirtless scene of Brad Pitt in Fight Club? That's pretty much Coop, you know, with the deep V and everything. That's Coop, I think.
Cut up.
Yeah, that's how I remember him in my head right now. That's pretty much Coop. And Zetar contributing. I appreciate that, my friend. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight through technical difficulties, through whatever we got to do, we do. We get in where we fit in. You got 5 styluses. You might as well use it. Hey, I'm going to cheers with you later.